on vocals off their Farmhouse album, and before that, the indie rock band from Ohio, Camp, and the Osser from their new studio effort, Lavender Days, broadcasting live outside the Kroger on 400 South Maple at 400 South Maple. I'm Martin Van Dyke. We are rocking for the hungry and supportive food gatherers, and I'm just so delighted to have back with us Jennifer Spitler, Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Washtenaw County. How are you, Jen? Good to see you in person.
It's our last time, Martin.
I know. It is.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
But,
it's bittersweet. It's emotional, but changes. Some guy named David Bowie sang that a few years ago, and that's part of life.
It is, yeah.
But it's been just spectacular having you on as a guest. Typically the first Wednesday of the month at this time around, because it's rocking the last Wednesday of November, but talking about all the happenings at one of our essential nonprofits, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Washtenaw County. A little history about you, and then we'll talk about the match of the month. How long have you been executive director?
20 years. Wow. 20 years this year, just in August. Yeah, nice. I started as a match specialist and then became the program director, and then we became an independent organization in 2007, and I became the executive director.
So the rewards are immense. I'm sure the challenges are. You've had to weather the storm like all of our other businesses and nonprofits, and haven't been able to do. I mean, all of this is about in-person.
It is.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of years. I think the matches that were already together, like one we're going to talk about today, really found ways to stay connected. Making new matches has been difficult. So, our call is always for more folks to step up as bigs, and just how important it is after these last couple of years of isolation and learning loss and social development loss. Oof. Peer relationship. Kids need support in figuring out how to navigate those things because they lost so much of that. Because peer relationships with your siblings is not the same as peer relationships out in public. So, that's a lot of what we...
Truer words have never been spoken. Yes, true. All right, let's get into this. We every month talk about our mentorship and our match of the month, where you match bigs and littles, which is a very carefully curated process. So who's in our spotlight today?
So this month we're going to talk about Marguerite and Undaye. I just want to make sure I say her name right. It's such a beautiful name.
It is.
They were matched in 2019. I'm sorry. So we were able to match them before the pandemic. And I think, like a lot of matches, they had to figure out new ways to connect. And so they, one of the cool things that they did was set up an outside theater at the home, like did a movie night outside. And they did things like that. They worked in the garden, did things that they could be outside, social distance a little bit, still feel safe, because we had to put those protocols in place. But this is a match that loves to be out and about. So now that they're able to, again, they go to yard sales, and they love going to the unicorn store in Ipsy and just exploring the community together. And I think that is one of the things, when I think about the opportunities and experiences that bigs can give to littles, it's the connection that happens during that time. But it really does, for many kids, create those opportunities to explore new things, kind of figure out who they are, what do they like, try new things. That's one thing. We talk about firsts a lot, and we've done that over the years. So many firsts happen with our matches. One of the cool things that this match did is that they actually went strawberry picking, and then they made a pie together with the strawberries. So and it was the first time that she had done that. And, just having those experiences, I think, just create the sense of self. It helps kids see what else is out there, and explore. And that's what we all deserve growing up, is to have those things with caring people in our lives. And so I'm incredibly grateful that I've been able to be a part of this for 20 years, and just see these relationships flourish. Some last a couple of years, some last 20 years. There are folks that I'm connected to that were on my caseload when I started 20 years ago. Right? Wow. It's an amazing, amazing experience to have those connections and see them grow. See kids that are adults and having kids.
Oof,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like
that's
a grandma. No, not necessarily, but it's that feeling. You know how when you become a grandparent, you're like, oh gosh, it's that next generation. I see that, and
uh-huh.
it's really cool to experience that for
w-
sure.
we always hope with our match of the month interviews, we encourage 1071 listeners to take that first step towards mentorship. And what is that step? And how do you do the match before we let you run? And what's the commitment? A lot of people think, well, I'd like to do this, but
At time,
time,
it's the biggest commitment, right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not a huge
It's
commitment.
not
It's
gigantic.
a couple of hours, a couple of times a month,
Okay.
right? For a community-based program, you go to our website, sign up to come to an orientation. They're 20 minutes. You can learn about the program, what the opportunities are for school-based or site-based. It's really about doing things that you like to do or exploring new things together, right? If you want to go to the arcade, you're taking your kid to the arcade. It's
Yeah.
those things, so it doesn't have to feel like it's outside of the scope of things you'd already be doing or that you'd want to do. Sometimes the kid gives you the excuse to do those things, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is our last interview together, but we want you to still be a part of our mix on the morning drive show, and we hope to continue our relationship with 1071. Our guest is Jennifer Spitler, Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Washtenaw County. I'm trying to keep the emotions in check the best as I can, but give me a
You
hug.
have
Thank
been
you.
an amazing, amazing partner. I am so appreciative of you giving us this space. And I do want to say, if you haven't donated yet for Food Gatherers, Rockin' for the Hungry, do it now. They have been such great partners to all
Yeah.
of our families. We relied on them throughout the pandemic. We were doing food deliveries from, food pantries, picking it up, food that Food Gatherers had supplied. And so, I can't say enough the good work they do in the community. So please step up and be a part of that today.
Give at this store, 400 South Maple, Kroger. The Kroger, any Kroger in Washtenaw County will take your monetary gifts. Or, yeah, if you want to stop by here in person, we've got these really sweet rockin' incentives. I understand someone wants to get one of her beanies
I
before
want a
she
beanie.
leaves here. Thanks for joining us,
Thank you,
Jen. We
Martin.
are rocking for the hungry with Weezer on 1071.